Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Midnight Madness Chats with Hardman. I've got an interesting guest on the line tonight, all the way from the US. Please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Good morning. From the United States on the East Coast. My name is Christina Avila, and I'm a promoter based out of Fairfield, Connecticut. I don't book shows, but I advertise and I share upcoming events, music videos, band pages. If musicians want to do an interview, if they want to get airplay, they'll send me their MP3s, and that's what I do.
Okay, and tell me, where did your passion for music start?
It started with the loss of my dad 13 years ago, and then my mom recently during the pandemic. Um, I lost both of them, but I grew up with American Bandstand, Solid Gold, the big bands, Spanish music. My dad was Cuban, my mom's Middle Eastern American, um, three older sisters, all kinds of music in the house growing up.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so sorry to hear about your loss.
Thank
And
you.
tell me, how did you start promoting bands? What were the steps you took, and in what mindset were you when you were like, this is what I want to do?
When I first started, I did it for the wrong reasons. I just wanted to fit in. And I realized later on, especially after losing both of my parents, I'm not going to fit in. I just have to be myself no matter what. I had never been to Los Angeles, always wanted to go, especially during the 80s when it was really big. So that kind of started my interest, but doing promotions in a different way. I've worked with several artists here in Connecticut, different states, some bands overseas, and just the passion, the driven for it, especially now that the streaming is in charge. There's no more record stores, which I grew up with.
Mm.
Concerts are more expensive now to go to. Everything is so different. So just showing support to the musicians because everything is has changed.
Mm. And tell me, are you a musician yourself?
No, I'm not. Never
No,
will be.
okay. Awesome. Talking about streaming and how things are changing and it's not always for the better. Um, what is your opinion on the digital era, on the platforms and the streaming and social media and all those type of things?
Um, the streaming. I guess Spotify is good if you want to listen to a song before you actually buy a CD. I'm a CD person. I still have
Mm.
cassettes. Um, instead of spending so much money because record stores were not available, basically I get my CDs from Amazon. So Spotify is a good way to sample music before you actually buy it. Um, I guess so for me, for the different musicians I work with, Spotify doesn't pay anybody at all. The bands don't see any income from it at all. And everybody has to have a regular job today to make ends
Mm.
meet. Um, so for that sense, just for a sample, yes, to listen to a song just to get a feel. But the streamlining, not so much because
Mm.
bands are just not making money anymore, including yourself.
Mm.
I feel
Mm.
horrible for all you guys. You all work really hard. You're talented, you're creative, and it's just a shame the way things are going.
No. So the thing is, what does benefit us is we are South African, and our rand versus your dollar is quite aggressive.
Mm,
So when we have to buy in dollars, we suffer, but when we get paid in dollars, we smile. So because Spotify pays in dollar, in South Africa, I think that we make a little bit better income off Spotify
hmm
than maybe someone that's in the US, because I mean, you're getting paid in dollars, you're living in dollars, where we're getting paid in dollars and we're living in rand. So our Spotify has been paying us not enough to live off, I'll be honest, but enough to, pay for things like studio time and that type of thing. So that's just a little bit of a fun fact. Um, So tell me, what is your plans for the future? What's next? What do you want to do to take your artist to the next level?
I would love to travel. I mean, right now I'm a daycare teacher. I've been doing it for almost 17 years, but I've worked in an in-home daycare, and then my boss has shut down for good reasons. I wanted to retire. So my
Mm,
girlfriend and I are opening up a daycare in her home, but the licensing is just not working. I mean, because we opened right after COVID,
mm,
and right now I have one child, and I'm blessed to have a job at least, something. But
mm,
maybe next year, the year after, I would just love to go to Sweden, and love to go to
mm,
Norway. I would love to go to these different countries
mm.
and
Yeah,
be
so
be a part of a festival, even overseas, because I know they do their festivals differently. It's family oriented, and I would just love to be a part of that.
mm. So we were supposed to tour the UK now in August, and our tour was postponed due to cost of living crisis in the UK currently. So they're going through a little bit of a recession, and two festivals were cancelled, and some of the shows we were supposed to play were cancelled, and then we just couldn't justify going for small shows, if you know what I mean. So, with that being said, how is the state of the music industry and the state of the consumers, the people who go to shows in the US? Do you guys also find that you have a bit of a cost of living crisis?
Huge, huge. I mean, concert tickets. For example, if we were going to take my daughter to see my fiance and I to see Journey and Toto, tickets are starting off at $171 each. And I know
Mm,
it's their final farewell tour, but we both said, no way. We can't afford that. Who can afford that?
mm,
Groceries, I have to go to at least two or three different grocery stores for groceries here. The cost of to live in a home. We live in a condo. I just found out this week that our postage starting July 14th is going to go up again. Gas prices, everything is just skyrocketing. So we just do the
mm.
best we can. And for the
Yeah.
musicians, I mean, they have to have regular jobs today because it's not like how it was back then where the venues accommodate them. When they
Mm,
tour, they all have to come up with money together for a tour bus. Even the
mm,
lighting people, sound people, even if they're your friends, they still charge you. So
mm,
it's hard on everybody.
mm. So I do events myself. I did the past weekend. I did a quite a the biggest event I've ever done before, or the most expensive event I've ever done before. And yeah, it was very nice to see everything come together, and the performance was great. The stage was brilliant, the lights and everything. So that was good. But from a sort of promoter organizer point of view, it was terrible because I made a massive loss. So a massive, like I can't even explain to you how big of a loss we made, and it's just because the people that were there had a great time, and they were enjoying the music, but it's just that we did not see enough feet through the door, and it's people are poor, and it's a fact, and it seems to be getting worse. But yeah, let's not talk about negative things. So
Right.
tell me, if I may ask, how much do you charge to do PR for a band, um, in like your packages and stuff?
Well, some bands I don't charge at all, but if I was going to do something, I start off between 10 and $15 USA money because I do postings on all of my links. I have
Mm,
a LinkedIn, a business page, an Instagram, and my personal page. So it comes out to between 20 and 30 because I do
okay.
everything on all my links twice a week. And I usually do them on Tuesdays and Fridays. Um, so yeah, average to 20 to 30. And if a band wants to pay me more, that's great. If they can't and they want to send me merchandise, which has been happening a lot, that's great too. I just know times
Mm,
are tough for people right now.
mm. And tell me if you Where if you do the promotions and things, do you include like a radio pack and maybe like a Spotify playlist deal or anything like that?
I'll ask the bands if they have a Spotify link. I'll ask them if they have a website. I'll ask them if they have MP3s for me to send
Mm,
to different radio stations, and that's all part of the $10 to $15
mm.
twice a week.
Okay. And tell me, where can bands reach out to you? How do they get hold of you? Just like mention where everyone can find you.
Okay, I have a personal page, and my profile picture is of one of my artist logos, and then the other picture is of my daughter and I. I have a business page which is www.facebook.com/crazycuban73 because I am part Cuban. My Instagram is at crazycuban73. My LinkedIn, I'm fairly new with LinkedIn, so I can't remember how the sign up is, but if they find me, they'll see my logo. And then I have two email addresses. One of them is Christina Avila 41 at gmail.com, and the other is crazycuban41 at gmail.com.
I quite like that. That's cool. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Thank you so much for supporting bands and music and artists. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Someone you'd like to shout out to?
Oh my gosh, there's so many bands out there. So I just want to give out a shout out, just a general shout out to everyone I'm working with. I want to give out a shout out to you, Hardy, to the different podcast DJs that have supported me, my parents who are my biggest fan. Though they're not alive, they're still here with me. My daughter Tamara, my fiance Gennaro, the Lord, of course, I couldn't do anything without him. My sisters, my family. I'm just blessed and I'm grateful for every little thing.
Thank you so much. Until next
Thank
time, my
you.
friend Hardman.
Have a great day.